Hey fam, it's Grace. This is Music is Medicine. Music is actually the most beautiful thing to have graced the earth. We all connect to music in some way. So I think it's about time that we actually listen to music. And I mean like listen to it. We're going to dive in and we're going to use those words because those words were given to these creators, these artists from like God or something. And then they created these songs. Why aren't we actually listening to and learning from and healing from the words in these songs? You know what I mean? Like they were given to us. Let's use them. Today, we're getting a dose of Bruce Lee by Chris Brown. And in that song, we learn to heal through moving like water. This song is from his 2023 album, 1111. And already, if you're one of those girlies or people, like, it had me raising an eyebrow. I said Chris Brown, 1111. The image on his album cover, it's like him in outer space with like some screen on his head. It's very ethereal. So let's dive into the song. So who is Bruce Lee? I wish that I knew a lot more about him before going into this. I really just learned about him. I've heard about him, of course, knew he was a martial artist, but I really learned a little bit more about him just today. And he's an icon. He is not only a martial artist, he's an actor, he is a filmmaker, which is like, if you're athletic and you're in theater, like that's kind of the duo that you would never expect from someone. So there's something, of course, special about him, but just like that in itself, it's like, whoa, who the hell are you, brother? He is credited with creating a new form of martial arts. He's credited with changing the way that Asians are perceived in films in America. And he's also known for his mindset and the way that he moved about life, not just physically, but mentally as well. He has a mindset of continuous self-improvement, that you're constantly improving. And he had a very philosophical view that kind of correlated to needing unity, or not needing, whatever. The power that comes when there's unity between the mind and the body. So that just kind of goes to show that all of his successes, his quick punches, whatever, in his martial arts, yeah, he had the physical skills, but would he have been as successful if he didn't have the mental well-being and the mental prowess behind him? Questionable. So one of his main, one of his many, I'm sure, philosophies was that we need to move like water. We need to be adaptable. We need to be able to go with the flow because life is constantly changing. There are constantly things being thrown at us. We need to be able to move with it, move around it, move with it, move around it, so that we don't drive ourselves crazy and so that we can keep our eye on the prize and we can achieve what the fuck we want to achieve. Water is formless. Water is flexible. Water flows no matter what. So that's how we should be. Now to the song. So the first line in the song, it gets hard to flow when you keep adding weight to pull me down. Used to sail alone and now the winds are changing for me now. I just want to sing these songs. So let's visualize this for a minute. You are floating in the pool or the ocean, whatever. You're floating in some body of water all alone. You're treading the water. That in itself is doable, right? It's manageable to tread water. But you do need to have skills. You need to know how to swim to be able to do that. You need to have calmness and confidence to be able to do that. And, you probably can't tread water forever. You can't tread water forever. So that in itself, keeping yourself afloat, is a skill. It's something that is not as easy as sleeping or blinking or breathing, obviously. So then imagine that someone starts adding weights to your ankles while you're treading that water. They add a 10-pound weight, and that first 10-pound weight is a new friend that you have that's toxic a little bit. And then that next 10-pound weight is a habit that you picked up to cope with the negative feelings that you're feeling from said friend. And then another 10-pound weight comes from a job that you have that pays the bills, but you don't have as much time to spend with your family. And then you have another 10-pound weight that comes from a relationship that you're in that is a little bit abusive or, manipulative, or they're cheating or whatever. And then you have other 10-pound weights that you don't even know about that are still on you, that are hanging on you from your childhood, from your fear of abandonment that you have from your childhood, from watching your parents divorce and not feeling like you don't know how to love. Whatever it is. Am I projecting? Maybe. Whatever it is. You have all these 10-pound weights. Yeah, it's going to be goddamn hard to fucking stay afloat and tread water when you got all these weights on you, bro. So Chris Brown is saying, yeah, I used to sail alone, but the winds are changing. You keep adding weight and you're pulling me the fuck down. That's how life goes. Life is constantly changing. Changes in life are inevitable. That's really the only thing that doesn't change, is the fact that life will change. That's a fact of life. Some of those weights might not even be bad or negative, but you might be viewing them as weights. So maybe they are redirecting you. Maybe they are opening up your perspective to live a little differently. Maybe they're giving you an opportunity to live a little. Maybe they're giving you an opportunity to live a little differently. Pull us, pull us. The currents try to pull us under. High tide, we capsize. We blame it on something lunar. All right, so pull us, right? Everything's trying to pull you down. Is it? No. I get freaked out because the perception of it all. The currents are trying to pull us down. It's like, that's such a victim mentality, no? Like, oh, all these things are going wrong. It's all trying to break me. It's all against me. The world is out to get me. Like, this shit sucks. I hate it here. Like, no offense, but stop bitching and moaning. Like, you're still here. You haven't done anything about it. You're still here. Stop bitching and moaning. Do something about it. I'm not saying, like, give up. But make a change. If you're really that unhappy, make a change. That part about capsizing, though, too, it's like a lot of times it's not easy to make a change. It's like your issues, the things going on in your life, the weights that you have on you, you feel like you can't just take them off. And so, yeah, you capsize, you go under the water for a minute. That's it. Like, I can't take it anymore. I'm taking the weights off. I'm chucking them at you. However people react in those moments of capsizing varies on the person. So you might lash out. You might get a little violent. Like, seems like that's what Chris Brown does. I don't know. You might turn to habits that you know subconsciously or consciously aren't that great for you. You might turn to sex. You might turn to alcohol, drugs, work. You might overwork yourself. You might isolate yourself. Whatever your vice is in that way, may come to the surface when you are capsizing, when you're at your wit's end. So we capsize and we blame it on something lunar, is what he says in the song. The easiest thing to do whenever you reach that point is point your finger somewhere else. You're like, fuck my job, fuck them kids, screw myself. Like, I hate that my body is like this. I hate that I can't control myself. I hate that, you go down this rabbit hole of blaming everyone else, but looking inward, really. You're like, oh, it's just Mercury retrograde. Like, not much you can do about that. Shit's just always hitting the fan during Mercury retrograde. And, there's validity to it. It's true that shit goes on and it affects you. But at the end of the day, that stuff is a product of your own doing. And it makes sense because we see all these things going on in our life. It's like, yeah, that's the cause. Yeah, that's the cause. It's so much harder to actually take responsibility for the things going on in your life and look inward of like, how have I contributed to this? How have I gotten myself in this situation? And now I'm here. Like, your mom didn't accept the job for you. Your dad didn't get you into that relationship, unless it's like an arranged marriage, then I don't know what to say there. But we're talking about the controllables. We're talking about the things that we can control. You get to that wit's end, you lash out, you capsize, as he says it. When you get to that point, that's your body telling you like, hey, there's something that I want to change here. And it's not all bad. It's redirecting you or it's showing you something. If we make it out the storm, we're stronger, so we need to move like water. Water. These hard times where we capsize, where we lash out, we isolate ourselves, we go cheat on someone, we, whatever. That is the storm. For me, I know that I just can become really snappy whenever I'm at my wit's end, and I've luckily gone through these steps that I'm about to talk about and become aware that that's what I do. I didn't even know, I had no self-awareness that when I'm super stressed out, when I feel like I'm not being treated right at work, when I'm not standing up for myself properly, I start getting snappy at people who have done nothing to me. It's like that's so embarrassing, to show up with a sour attitude, to show up as a bitch when no one deserved that. Girl, don't be like that. move like water. So you're triggered by something, whether it's a small situation, you're just snappy at someone, or it's like, there's really something bigger going on. There's like 100-pound weights on you. Whatever those triggers are, those triggers cause you to react in different ways. Those triggers in life aren't just gonna go away. It's like a function. When this happens, this is the result. When I input this trigger, this is what I do. Every time I find myself alone at night, I'm about to expose myself. Every time I find myself alone at night and I start watching food videos and I smoke weed, I binge eat. Okay? Like, that's such a mild problem. Such a mild problem. I have bigger ones, but I'm not telling you. Well, I've had bigger ones in the past. I'm healed. So these triggers are like the current. Like, you keep getting pulled into the current and you keep responding a certain way. And it's going to keep happening if you don't change something. Step 1 is the awareness. The awareness of what those triggers are for you, what those things are that you do that don't make you feel great, what those, like, misalignments are. Like, when you realize you're hating on people, or you realize you're, having a habit, you're doing a habit that isn't good for you. You're in this relationship again with someone who's cheating you or abandoning you or abusing you or manipulating you, a friend, a lover, yourself, whatever it is. You find yourself in these situations. Start to ask yourself, okay, what are these situations that I don't prefer to have in my life? What are the situations that lead up to those? What am I doing? What am I thinking? What am I feeling? What have I been doing that day, that week before, when this seemed to happen? When I got into this relationship, where was I at in life? What was I feeling about myself? Step 2 is where we actually become stronger from these things, when we make it out of the storm. Step 2 has to do with responding differently to those triggers and not falling into old patterns. So part 1 is like the controllables that we were talking about, the things that you can control. You can leave your job. You can, as hard as it is, you can leave the person that you're with. You can cut off a friend. You can not isolate yourself as much. You can go on a walk. You can go to a coffee shop or, whatever. You can get outside, go on a walk. I think I said that. But anyways, the controllables being habits, which you might think, I can't do that. Okay, yeah, not with that mindset, bro. If you say I can't do that, I can't do that. Okay, victim, like, you're not in control of your own life. Sorry. But I'm serious. Like, no one else is making you do those things. I know that it can be hard. I know that habits and addictions, it can be really, really hard. But you have all of the tools that you need to overcome any challenge in your life. And if that triggers you, look into that trigger. Then we have the uncontrollables, where that's more like people are doing something to you, where, like, yeah, someone cheats on you or someone abandons you. The controllables in that situation would be, the person that you actually pick. But the uncontrollables are those things that happen, or, someone passes away or you lose your job. Those are uncontrollables. So what do we do when we have uncontrollables? You can't really do anything. So all you can do is surrender. I studied abroad in Australia, and on one of the first days of orientation, we had to go into the ocean, into a rip current, which is very fitting for the song, and get ourselves out of it. The way that you did that was you get into the water and the current is kind of pulling you every which way. What you do is you lay on your back and you literally just let it flow. You literally just flow with it. You lay on your back in the rip current and it eventually pushes you out to the side and then you can swim in. Who would have known that you're not supposed to panic and flail around when you're in a rip current? I actually had no idea. Maybe people know that, but I had no idea. So we surrender. When you can't control something, you surrender to it. You let it be. You let it happen. Like, let it. It's like the let them theory, Mel Robbins. It's like, let them. Someone cheats on you. Okay, let them. Move on. Yeah, grief, feel the pain, feel your emotion fully and deeply. But once you've felt everything that you can feel, you have to let it go eventually. Or else you're just regurgitating, reliving your own suffering. You're inflicting your own suffering on yourself past a certain point. You hear that? Yeah. Besides feeling and processing your feelings fully, there's no point in adding extra stress on top of an already stressful situation. No point of being like, oh, they cheated on me because I suck. I'm ugly. I'm fat. I'm too skinny. I'm unlovable. I'm weird, I'm whatever. It's this about me. It's the way that I sleep. It's the way, whatever it is. There's no point of inflicting that stress and that pain upon yourself when there's already a shitty situation going. No adult temper tantrums, no victimizing yourself, no adult temper tantrums. Let it go. Find the silver lining. If a bitch cheats, that's a bitch. You don't want them in your life, bro. You don't. And I know it takes time to get there, but it's like you don't. Find the silver lining. Thank God they cheated on me. Thank God they're out of my life. Thank God they abandoned me. I'm better alone anyways. I don't have all that weight on me. We adapt to our circumstances and we move on. I think Bruce Lee would be proud of that. On Halloween, about a week ago, okay, now I'm distracted. I lost my wallet and my car keys. I had cash in my wallet. I had my ID. I had gift cards, my credit card, debit card, Venmo card. My car keys, obviously. I had my car key, my work key, my house key, my mail key. Pretty much my whole life was in there. I had to sleep at a friend's house and woke up the next morning, calling the place. They don't have it. My car, go outside. My car has a ticket on it. And I have to call a locksmith to come get me a new key fob, which was $400 for that. And then the ticket was $82, $81.50, whatever. I have to basically start from square one. I'm a ghost at this point. But it really shocked me that in that moment, which I think kind of inspired a lot of this, there was never one moment where I wasn't like fine. First of all, the recognition that like this problem is a blessing. This problem is a blessing. And I don't mean like because people have it so much worse. I mean that. But also it's a blessing because shit, like my ID was expired. My wallet was tearing. One of my cards was expired. I only had one key fob for my car. So it's great that I got an extra one anyways. It was an opportunity to up-level my life. And yeah, it cost a pretty penny when, I don't just have that money laying around. But it was worth it. And it took that for me to invest in myself a little bit. Ordered a new wallet, started an application to get a new ID, froze all my cards, obviously, and ordered new ones. And then after I do all that, what happens? Oh, a restaurant calls me, and they found it all. Cash still in there, everything still in there. So it was like almost a universe thing where I had to lose all of this to gain so much more, to be like, you know what? Like, you want these things for yourself. You want to... I've lived in California for 4 years now. My ID was broken in half from North Carolina. The ugliest picture I ever did see of myself, in my own opinion. It was time. It was time to do something different. And it's unfortunate that it took that annoying situation to happen. I don't want that to be my life. It's annoying that it took that situation for it to happen, but I guess point being, I was seeing the silver lining of it, and it's actually a great thing. Now I have an extra key fob. Slay. And my car didn't get towed. That was the other thing. My car could have been... Oh, those were the two other things. My car didn't get towed, which would have been triple the cost of a ticket. And I didn't have to go to the dealership to get a new key fob, which would have been also triple the price of that. So it went from like it could have been a $2,000 endeavor to like it was like $500. I'll take that. I am blessed. Point being, you can flow with any situation. You can see any situation as an opportunity, as you see the silver lining of it. All right. That perspective is available to you at all times. There are a million perspectives available to you at all times. It's up to you which one you want to tap in. Do you want to tap into the victim perspective, or do you want to tap into the silver lining, this sucks, but it's okay because perspective, and the a million in between? It's up to you. Too shallow to see underneath, too far gone, now we're lost at sea. So we as humans love to look at the surface of situations. It's just like with the wallet situation. I could have just looked at the surface and been like, this is a fucking inconvenience for me. This sucks. This is going to be a money sucker, an energy sucker, a time sucker. Like, this fucking blows. Or, you could tap in, you could look deeper under the surface and be like, well, why did this happen? First of all, I was a dumb girl. It saved me from driving when I shouldn't have. It saved other people from my driving when I shouldn't have. And I'm sure my friend wouldn't have let me do that anyways. And like, I hopefully wouldn't have let myself do that anyways. But like, you just never know. You never know. And like, I'm going to go ahead and say like, I don't want to say that out loud, but like, it's real. So chill. Looking under the surface of your situations is key. Another example with humans in general, you look at a really confident person, you see them as a confident person, you may even see them as arrogant, and you might get annoyed and triggered at that. Why are you triggered and annoyed at that? Are you not confident? Are you insecure about something? You wish that you could be confident like that? Besides the point. But you look at this confident person, you might see them as arrogant. Looking under the surface though, you don't see all of the shit that they had to go through, all of the bullying that they had to endure, the comments online and in person, the whatever, to become so secure in themselves, to be like, you know what, people can say all this shit, I don't care, fuck it, because I know who I am, I know my worth, and I'm gonna stand up for myself, and I'm gonna walk around like my shit don't stink. I didn't like that. You don't see the pain people go through. You don't see it online, you don't see it in person, and a lot of people, you don't see it, you just see the surface. So know that everyone is a fucking ocean. We're 70% water anyways. Goddamn, we are an ocean. You don't know what's under that surface. All these bridges burn, but still the rapids never lose their rage. All we learned by now, but we're repeating all our old mistakes. We talked about it. You could change your physical environment. You could break up with someone. You could quit your job. You can quit a habit. But your internal, your rapids, they never lose their rage unless you identify what is the thing, what is the emotion that is still inside of me that keeps coming up as this desire to do this habit, as this instinct to go after this person that I know is going to hurt me. So yeah, maybe you've dealt with the external, but until you've dealt with the internal, those rapids are going to keep burning inside of you. Examples, your low self-worth brings you to a shitty or abusive partner because you don't believe that you're worthy of someone better, someone who actually loves you. Maybe you don't actually know what love really looks like. You haven't sat with that. You haven't been like, well, what does love look like for me? What do I want love to look like? Even if you don't know, what do you want it to look like? Have you sat with that and demanded that who you're with gives you that? Have you been okay with, if someone won't give me that, then I don't want them? Your fear of abandonment leads you to friends who abandon you or partners who abandon you. Have you dealt with your fear of abandonment? Have you sat with yourself and been like, if this person abandons me, I'm going to let them. I'm going to let them because I know that I am good on my own. I'm good alone. When I'm treading that water on my own, I know I can at least handle that. I can find a raft for a little bit and lean on some safety. But if they're going to abandon me anyways, I don't want them in my life. I'm okay on my own. Can you be okay on your own? Your unfulfilling job or life in general brings you to fill yourself through instantly gratifying habits like food, sex, drugs, alcohol, whatever else. Have you taken the time to make sure that you are doing things in your life that are fulfilling to you, so you don't have to find fulfillment in ways that actually hurt you down the line? Are you fulfilling yourself in ways that amp you up and give you life, or are you fulfilling yourself in ways that take life from you? Nowhere left to go, even though there's still 100 ways. Can't rely on anyone to help us navigate. Slay, I knew those. You're like, what the fuck? I quit my job. I left them. Why does this type of person keep coming back to me? Why am I in another job that treats me the exact same? Why? Boo-hoo. Victim mentality. Hello. Stop it. It's because you haven't shifted your internal state. Your external is reflecting what's going on inside of you. You're going after these jobs because you see them as safety. You see that dollar amount and you're like, yeah, that's going to be good for me. And then you get into it and you're like, this shit blows. These people here blow. Yeah, because you're looking in the wrong spots for what you want. What do you want? And where are you actually going to find what you want? The answer is out there. There's a million ways. He says it. He says there's 100, but we know there's infinite ways. And I already hear the people being like, boo-hoo, no, I can't. Oh my God. You can shut up and do it. Find a way or you don't want it enough. Find a way or you don't want it enough. All right, y'all. So we're going to move like water. We're going to adapt to our situations. We're going to learn ourselves and become self-aware and see the value, see how much we can love ourselves so that nothing that happens in our life can actually trigger us. It can actually be a weight and bring us down. We're going to see ourselves as so worthy, so powerful on our own that the only thing that we allow into our lives are things that are going to level us up and fulfill us in a beautiful way that gives us life, not drains us of life, not pulls us underwater. So bring all this to your therapist or sit with this and heal from it. Because the words in this song are beautiful. Whatever you think about the artist, the words in this song are beautiful and they have a great message. So if you want change in your life, it's up to you. You can't rely on anyone to help you navigate. It's up to you to navigate. You can get assistance, but it's up to you to navigate and figure out what you want and what you want to do to get what you want. You can do that. I believe in us. Let's go. Ew. I was going to say let's ride, but then I said let's go. I didn't like either of those. Bye.